Honestly, and just to build on that, I never cease to be amazed at the quality of the talent that has come to this effort. We have our monthly meetings, and man, it's just astonishing to sit in the room with the All-Star team, and I'm really grateful to you guys. And I want to give a shout out. Unfortunately, our director, our open group director, Ed Harrington, is not here because he's ill this morning. But he's someone we is Ed here? He had to go back. He's not feeling well. But just a shout out to Ed. So I got guys. I have just two slides to wrap this up, and then we're just going to open the floor for questions and answers. So some metrics on industry participation. We keep track of this stuff assiduously. At present, Trevor said 92. Actually, we've had a number of joins in the past 4 weeks or so. So the number of member organizations now is up to 96. That includes 22 operating companies. The two latest operating company joins are Eastman Chemical and Petronas. The chart is a graphic of person events. So an individual calls into a teleconference or an individual participates in a face-to-face meeting. That's a metric that we keep track of for participation. So you'll see in 2016 there on the chart, Trace, okay, that was our kickoff year, our opening meeting in San Francisco in November. And we're now at about 4,600 person events using that metric in 2019. And you see the distribution between WebEx teleconferences and face-to-face meetings. So I want to just close with a couple of concluding remarks, and then we'll open up the floor. So just to, if you come in late, what did we get done for you this year? Okay. We published version 1 final, the relatively few changes between version 1 preliminary and version 1 final. Again, when we publish the preliminary version, it's open for industry comment, okay? It is open for industry comment. We need feedback. Is this working in practice or not? Okay, we have a managed process for collecting change requests and problem reports. And you've heard us that we published version 2 preliminary just last week. We've also published a very significant accomplishment, which Luis detailed earlier this morning, the conformance certification policy. And the task of Ed, Ron, at Aegis of Intel, Ron Bro of Wind River, we're starting up the conformance verification and certification. We are operationalizing conformance certification. Okay? Looking ahead, I want to make sure we're setting expectations. We've tried to stay on a 12-month cadence, hitting ARC Forum to make these major announcements. We're changing our plan for version 3. It's going to be content defined, not time boxed. We're really going for quality. We really want to come out with quality. So what we expect, we expect to publish version 3.0 preliminary in the second half of 2021, just to set expectations for our release schedule. But this basically kind of completes the master plan that you heard Dennis sketched it out several times. The master plan that we had from the very beginning, version 1, interoperability. Version 2, configuration portability. Version 3, application portability. At that point, we think we have kind of covered the space, and then we expect to get into kind of a continuous improvement cycle. That's been the master plan all along. And I would submit, I'd like to phrase it in this way. I think we are maturing in, I hope you hear it in our messaging, in our industry outreach, okay? As our probability of success is increasing, we realize now we have to have a big tent here and involve all of the participants. And there was a question from the floor on Monday from a gentleman from SI Group, a small chemical company. I don't know if he's in the room. Yeah. So we completely recognize that industry standards work is something that small companies can't afford. the writing of the standard. We recognize that, but you're part of the ecosystem. So what we're going to do, you heard it, Jaco and Julie Smith from DuPont really announced this at the panel session on Tuesday. We're planning two requirements workshop sessions in 2020, targeted at the end users, but it will be open to members and forum members and non-members. Okay, that what's the incentive for membership? The incentive for membership is to be, if I'm going to use a phrase from Hamilton, to be in the room where it's happening. Okay, you're in the room where it's happening. You get a vote, you get a say, and perhaps most importantly, you get an insight on where this thing is headed. Okay, and the suppliers can anticipate, try to be first to market with stuff. Okay, but if you can't afford that, and we recognize it, we still want to collect your input into this process. Our plans for the interoperability workshop are less detailed. Paul sketched it out in principle. We have one plan. We think it's going to be in Europe. We don't know, is it going to be members only or open? We're still debating those principles. But anyway, the point is we're maturing in our sense of industry outreach, and we need to be expansive and inclusive.